The Court of Public Opinion is a part of the Amateur Radio Network. Why do I think it's important we should all have our own channel? Well, first, I want to introduce Judge Barbie, because I'd prefer Judge Barbie to judge on these things, and to say the least, it's a safe way to go. And let's go to what I think will be really, really important, because I said something on my Facebook page, and I would do it on Twitter if I had really invested more into Twitter. But let's just assume for right now, if I was looking to change the way I invest my time and how I was to go about it, first of all, as long as there's going to be social media and as long as we're in there, many of us can't escape it now, okay? But when you have leverage, it's a lot different. You got to think of yourself right now as you're building up your product. And I think it's a lot better to have a YouTube page and a channel than it is to have a Facebook or Facebook or a Twitter handle. And this is why. Because I do see people that get caught up in it. Now, if I do a blog post, I know I can talk about the things I like, the ideas I want, what I want to achieve, the goals. That's not being selfish. And right up front, it's about money. Money means who is in the game. And I want to make money. That's the bottom line. I don't want to sit here, invest my time into something that is a waste. If I'm going to invest in something, if somebody's not going to invest into me, I'm not going to get whatever I put into it. It's either time to shelve the idea and put it aside and go invest into something else. And that's hard to do when you want something so much. So it's either we reorganize or we look at other platforms. And I know all of you guys are going to be using your social media. It's just, are you using it effectively? And what I find happening with Facebook and some of the other channels that, sites that we frequented, mostly Facebook right now. But why would I want to go on there if there are people that don't like each other? And if you've had a bad deal with somebody, maybe it is better you part ways, because you know what? Maybe you're not going to get along at some point. Maybe if they don't want to work it out, they're not going to invest anything into it. And I have to tell you, there aren't a lot of people that have invested that much that is worth getting upset over it, okay? If you're just a low investment, then you need to find the people that invested into you. And I look at having a Facebook profile or a Twitter page right now as this is your personal investment into whatever it is that you want to pursue, and it's about money. If you are this is a known fact. They collect metadata. You're the product. They're profiting off of selling your information. Well, why wouldn't you want to be involved in that acquisition? Well, I have to tell you, that's the approach we're going to take here, because you know what? Everything we do here is all authentic. We created it. It's all our intellectual property. That puts us in a position where we have leverage. I don't want to be controlled by the media narrative. There are so many good people on my wall right now that have they have just so much to offer. They're funny, they're friendly, they're kind, they're educated, they're smart. They're actually very attractive people. They actually have such attractive qualities that I would hate to see them waste their time into something that is just not worth investing in it. If we don't listen, if somebody doesn't think it's right with me, then I have to change something, or I have to do something differently. And it's not blowing up the emails. It's not blowing up my page, but there's so much out there. I have to be careful sometimes, because I want to load up my page and blow up my notifications. And that's kind of the downside to social media. We're going to be on social media one way or the other, but to what capacity? So yeah, I admit this is where I made my mistakes. I spent a lot of time following a lot of social media stuff and the news feed. But I see an opportunity to invest into yourself. I worked at WorldCom, and they told us that we had to warm up our customers. I have to tell you, when it comes to sales territory, maybe for some of you, if you didn't know how to close a deal, it was awful. And I feel like I'm in this perpetual, I've been stuck here for a while. I know I can't close the deal. When it comes to social media, I got to think of a way to do it differently. And I'm here to make a profit now, okay? I'm not here to meddle and use idle time. It's dangerous. Anyone that knows what idle time is like, it just messes with you. You could be doing something else. But I know people use social media, and there are people that have lucrative offers and have opportunities. Listen, if we weren't successful, we wouldn't be seeing a climb. We're not seeing a decline. It's just gradual. It's slow. And I personally, if I'm looking at the subscribers, how would you want to invest differently into yourself, into your social media? You're probably not thinking like that. You just want to talk to your friends and family. There's nothing wrong with that. But as long as social media is profiting off you, you should think you got leverage in this, okay? You're the person you're the product. And let me illustrate. I worked for a company years ago. I just went in there and I just did the best I could. I didn't always close the deal though. And I wasn't always the guy, I wasn't a salesperson either. And I'm still not, okay? I think many of us are too honest. But it doesn't mean right out of the gate, if I'm going to a client, I want to close the deal. I want to make sure I give them the best product possible, or I have to do something to change it. And yeah, I think a lot of us take that very personal. You know, I don't know about you all, but I invest a lot into the people around me, okay? Even if it's a small investment, it's still an investment, okay? So I'm looking to accomplish something with those that I've invested into. And I have to back away. And it upsets me, you know, when I failed at something, okay? And no one wants to walk away failing, okay? It's one thing when you close a deal on a house, a property, or a good job. You want to be an asset. And me personally, I've had to walk away from a lot of jobs because it wasn't the right fit. It only takes a couple of days, maybe a day or two, to realize I don't want this job. A lot of people have left jobs after the first day. They just know it's not the right fit for them. You have to be able to have leverage. You have to be able to do that. You have to be able to feel confident that walking away from a job is not because of money. Are you the right fit for that company? Are you the right fit in that social platform? Okay, so taking away from social media tips. I know this is important because MSNBC is following, okay? But they look at the trending news, okay? They're always looking for the ticker, you know? And I think that's like really relevant to somebody who has access to like TV on a regular basis. But what if you don't? What if you can't get to news? What if you're, out of an area? Like for me, a lot of us don't live in an area where you get a good connection. So you might not be able to keep up with the news. So we rely heavily on our friends or somebody hearsay. And we want to make sure that our friends can get us that news. Because I have to tell you, the one thing that has not changed about advertising is word of mouth. Not everybody can get to the internet and watch TV. Okay? So we rely heavily on what our friends and family say. So I have to take that in consideration as well. I have close friends and family that have told me some things that our social media presence is not the issue. It's just how much time we use on it. So this going forward, it's time to leverage our time and make money. And if we're not, what are we going to do to change that? The Court of Public Opinion is a part of the Amateur Radio Network.